Hi, and welcome to this Big Schools Green Screen Challenge brought to you by Discovery Education STEM Connect and Alexandra Palace. In this video challenge, we ask you to design a building that will help people keep cool without using a lot of energy and at the same time reducing waste. This project supports the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
The sun gives the earth light and heat, so plants, animals, and humans can grow. But imagine if one day there was no sun. What would Earth be like? It would be dark. It would be freezing cold. Nothing could grow. In fact, there would be no life at all. The light from the sun comes from 150 million kilometers away. Even at this enormous distance, our sun is intensely bright, and it provides huge amounts of energy that we can use in all sorts of ways. Solar panels can convert the sun's energy into electricity that we can use in our homes and for industry. But the sun's energy can be harmful too. We must never look directly at the sun, and we need to wear hats and sun cream to protect us. And when it is too hot, we start to become unwell. The world faces a problem. Pollution from vehicles, buildings, and industries traps the heat from the sun, and planet Earth keeps getting hotter. So countries around the world have agreed some global goals to help the planet and build a better future for everyone. These include building sustainable cities and communities that don't use lots of energy and create more pollution. Town planners, architects, and engineers are all working together to find the best way to design buildings and public spaces that keep us cool. We want you to help them. Your mission is to investigate ways of keeping cool that don't need fans and air conditioning powered by electricity, and see how you can put these ideas into the design of a building. Here are some things to think about. Some materials take longer than others to heat up. Colours are different too. Some absorb the sun's rays, others reflect them. Which colours are good if you want to build a house to keep you cool? Which materials? And how can you create cool areas inside and around your buildings? Think about where you feel coolest on a hot day. Is it in a car park? Or next to a river? When you're feeling overheated, does it help if there's a bit of a breeze? Where is the temperature highest? In the sunshine or in the shade? Okay, that's enough to think about. Now it's over to you. Don't forget, your mission is to investigate ways of keeping cool and then see how you can put these things into the design of a building. Go for it!
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges we face, including those related to poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice. The 17 goals are all interconnected, but for here we are focusing on these three. Goal 9. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialisation and foster innovation. Goal 11. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable. And Goal 13. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. The project is split into 3 parts: challenge, design and solve. In the challenge, we want you to learn about the power of the sun, the problems extreme heat can cause, and how to keep buildings cool. For the design, we ask you to plan the features of your building and test different solutions to the problems of extreme heat and other environmental issues. And for your solution, we ask you to complete and present your building solution to the problem and evaluate your experience. And here's the challenge. We want you to design a sustainable TV studio. TV studios produce an enormous amount of heat from the studio lighting and equipment. There's often limited ventilation in the studio as there are no windows. This creates more heat. There is wide use of plastics in the industry, particularly in the hospitality areas, where guests go to wait for their recording sessions. And of course, scripts and call sheets all use vast amounts of paper. To make it more fun, we would like you to take on the role of a real-world designer. For this project, you could work in a team. You might need an architect who creates the designs for the building, an engineer to carry out tests on materials to assess their effects, builders to create or draw the building model, and presenters to present the results of the team's work. For your solution, you can choose one or more of the following areas of a TV studio. The studio floor. This is where all the action takes place, where you will find the cameras, the lighting, the actors, the set and the props. Next, there's the control room. This is where they store all the noisy equipment which they don't want on the production floor. The makeup area for the artists. This will often have lots of bright lights. And the green room for hospitality. This is where the actors go while they're getting ready to go on set. You might find food and drinks and TV screens for people to watch while they're waiting. You can see here the typical equipment you will find in each space. The control room houses lots of monitors and computers stored in racks. The studio floor will have lighting and heating and cameras. The green room, with its TV, food and drinks, and makeup with its bright lighting. TV shows which commit to reducing carbon emission and waste can get an Albert Sustainable Production Certificate. This is a certificate for a film or television production's efforts to reduce waste and its carbon footprint. As a result, they can display the following logo at the end of their credits. Here are some ways a very popular TV show has managed to attain their certification. They cut its use of paper by 50%, including their scripts and call sheets. Rather than producing clips on DVDs, they moved it all to an online viewing platform. They recycled the sets and costumes, as well as paint and pots used to create the sets. They reduced the impact of energy generation on set by using LED lights and improving ventilation. They made recycling compulsory in all areas of the studio, with clearly labelled bins for each type of recycling. And they banned polystyrene and plastic cups. And of course, they used mains water instead of plastic bottled water. To help you with your project, we've prepared some planning sheets for you. You can do an experiment to test how materials absorb heat. You can look at what makes a cool building. You have a building plan and some ideas for how you could go about constructing your design. Of course, if you don't have time, you can always draw your designs. You can scan the following barcode to download the worksheets, or click on the link on the Alexandra Palace website. Now get designing.